Hello, this is Victor Lascurain from Binovo, and in this short presentation I would like to show you the features, capabilities and the usage of the Datacap Alfresco connector we have developed here at Binovo. In order to do that, in the first place I will show you a sample application. Then we will make a walkthrough of the implementation of this application. We will have a look at the action library that implements the the connector itself, and in the end I will tell you a little bit about some future work. Alright, so in the first place let's have a look at the input form. In our sample application, this will be a form applicants for a credit card will fill in by hand, and then we will use Datacap's intelligent character recognition to capture the information of each field, and in the end we would like to export both the document and the meta information to an Alfresco repository for further processing and for storage. So let's have a look at the repository now, so that we know where we begin and where we are supposed to end the process. Alright, this is our repository. In this application we are uploading the files to this folder. It's empty now because we haven't run any process yet, but we will upload something there right now. So let's go to the taskmaster client. I have a batch on process. The next step is verification. All the fields are correct, I believe, but nevertheless I wanted to show you the verification so that you can see how Datacap captures all the fields. This is the first document, this is the second one, the third one. You see that the image changes, but also the extracted meta information changes naturally. Everything seems to be alright, so let's tell the application to proceed. No more problems found. Finish batch, yes, and everything seems to be alright. Right. The next step is exporting. This task, the export task, excuse me, is the one that actually calls the connector we have developed. So let's run this task and see what happens. It will take a few seconds. Now it's uploading the documents together with the meta information and with the metadata to the repository. So when it's finished, it should be any moment now. Yeah, let's see if everything is okay. Yeah, job done. Let's go back to the repository, and if we upload this folder, here it is. This is a folder we just created during export. Let's look what's inside. Right, we have the 4 documents we have just verified, and if we have a look at any of them, we will see that not only we have the document, you will see it here in a moment. Yeah, here's the document. We also have, and this is the interesting part, all the meta information we extracted as properties in Alfresco. Right? So how do we do this? Let's see the implementation now. To see the implementation, I have a Datacap Studio window here. Okay. Here to the right, to the left, you see the document hierarchy. Nothing interesting in this side of the window for now. Here to the right, you see the action library itself, all the actions it provides. It's important to know that action library is an API, and this API is stateful. So when we add a property or we add an aspect, the API remembers these settings and uses them for the next upload operations. In order to understand how everything fits together, the best thing is to just walk through the application. This is the export rule set, the one that runs when the export task is executed. and the names of the rules are chosen to make it clear when they run. So batch open runs when the batch is open, batch close when the batch is closed, document begin when the document is open, document end when it ends, and page open when the page is begin. So this is more or less the execution order. Execution starts with this action, load config. We load the configuration from .ini file. It can be anywhere in the file system, and the most important parameter is the location of the repository itself. When we have loaded the configuration, we can log in, provided that we have a valid username and password. In the next step, we set the overwrite flag on. This tells the API that when it tries to upload a document which already exists in the repository, it should just overwrite the file. By default, the set overwrite is off, and in that case, if we try to upload a document that already exists, it will give us an error. Next, we create a folder and set this folder, the one we have just created, as active folder. Remember that the API is stateful, so it will remember the active folder for the next upload operations. After batch open comes document begin. And the first action will be set node type. We set the Alfresco node type, in this case to a content model we have developed specifically for this demo. Then we clear all aspects. Again, remember that the API is stateful, so by clearing all aspects at document beginnings, we make sure that we don't have any leftover aspects there. We do the same with the properties, and we also add an aspect, in this case CM versionable. This is a standard Alfresco aspect that tells Alfresco that in case of overwrite, it should create a new version, not just overwrite, but keep the old version and create a new one. This aspect, together with set overwrite on, control the versioning and overwriting functions. Alright, after document begin, page open runs for each of the pages. You can see a lot of actions here, but they are actually all the same. Just read a field from Datacap and store it in an Alfresco property. And once we are done with all of the pages, the document ends, and that means we run this action here. In this case, first of all, we set yet another property. This is the CM column name property. It's also an Alfresco standard property. It's not mandatory. We don't set this property. The connector uses the file's name by default, but just in order to show you that this is also possible, we have set it here explicitly. Now we have all the meta information in the connector with all the required paperwork, so to say it, and we're ready to upload the file. To do that, we just call Alfresco upload, and Alfresco upload will upload the file. We give the action as parameter together with all the meta information, all the metadata, all the properties, and all the aspects that are active to the active folder. Remember that the active folder was set at the beginning of the process with the set folder action. And well, we have uploaded the document, and the next step will be to close the batch. When all the documents of the batch are processed, we just log out from Alfresco, and that's all. We're done. Alright, let's get back to... We are done with the walkthrough, so let me just tell you a few things we might add to the connector. Alright, right now it is possible to create folders, as I have shown you, but it is not possible to attach metadata to the folders, only to the files. It would be possible. Alfresco has support for metadata in folders, but right now our connector doesn't support it. Another feature we might add in the future is the possibility of creating contentless nodes. Contentless nodes have certain uses in Alfresco. They are not vital, but they have certain interesting applications, and it would be nice to support them. Right now, they are not supported. And the third feature we are thinking about is launching workflows from the Datacap application. Right now, if you want to launch a workflow when you upload the document to Alfresco, you will have to set a rule on Alfresco that tells the repository to run a workflow or execute any action. But we believe that in certain applications it will be useful to have that possibility in the Datacap application itself. Right now we don't support this, but it could be a good addition. Nevertheless, all these three features I have been talking to you in the last few minutes, although they might be useful, we really believe they are not that important. In fact, we believe that with the feature we have implemented and we have shown you, we cover about 90 or 95% of the use cases. But nevertheless, again, it would be nice to have these features, maybe in the future. And thank you very much. That was all, and see you next time. Bye.